Welcome to Direct to Video, DVD Extras, a podcast between podcasts where we talk about whatever we want. Now, where's the button on this thing? Hey, I just had a thought.
Yo.
How come we can never stop talking about Star Wars?
Because Star Wars...
But here's the thing, though. We're definitely going to talk about Star Wars during our next real episode. And I have a reason why, and it's written down. And I don't want to bring it up, but, like, it's gonna happen. It feels like almost every... You know what? No, every time we talk, it feels like we bring up Star Wars.
Star Wars, for me, is fun to talk about, because if you want to talk about how a movie works, Star Wars is always a great example. If you've ever seen that fucking, graph of a perfect story...
Yes. Yeah. A New Hope fits into every part of the hero's journey perfectly.
Yeah, and the Star Wars trilogy itself is like a foundation for how trilogies work. Like the only movies that I would talk about more than Star Wars that I can't really talk about because I don't know if you've seen them and it doesn't come up often is Alien and Aliens.
I haven't, but I've heard they're very good.
They are very good. I would recommend you watch them because Alien kind of set the standard for how to do horror with sci-fi elements.
Is Alien and Aliens is that also are those also the movies that kind of they have a female action hero?
Yes.
In a time when you didn't really get those, heck, you still don't get female action heroes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big deal.
Well, but that's the thing though, is like Alien is your classic horror movie. You know, you have your heroine who's kind of this in regards to the other characters is inexperienced, is young, and is like quote unquote saved by her youth. You know, like in conventional horror movies.
Oh, okay.
What makes Alien work is that it's in space, but it's accessible space. Sorry, it's accessible sci-fi.
Oh.
And
okay.
There are a lot of smart things that they do writing-wise that lead to that. And Aliens is important because Aliens pretty much showed people how to make a blockbuster science fiction movie with action. Like Star Wars invented the blockbuster, Aliens invented the blockbuster action movie.
I think Jaws invented the blockbuster. I hate to jump in on this.
Jaws came out I think Jaws came out afterwards, but...
Okay, did it? Oh, that's fine. If that's so. True, that's fine.
Yeah, Jaws came out in 1975.
Oh, okay.
When did Star Wars come out?
Oh, let me double check. I don't know.
See, the problem is you look up Star Wars and you just get like a million things.
Oh, gotta type in A New Hope. That's how you do it. 1997. Or 77.
I was going to say, that's not right. So Jaws did come out first.
I genuinely think that Jaws invented the blockbuster.
Probably. I will begrudgingly give that to you.
Although I think I may have heard that on the film reroll. And while I think they all are kind of movie experts, I don't know that I would go to them for movie expertise.
I'll have to look into it. You could be right, but either way, like Aliens set the standard for how to do an action movie, and when you watch it today, it feels kind of boring, but because like every action movie that came out after Alien, like ripped off Alien in some way. It's kind of unbelievable when you think like how old the movie is, because Alien came out in 1979, so only a couple years after Star Wars.
Okay, that makes me think of what little I know of Jaws, because I haven't seen Jaws either, is that they say that broadly, I say that it invented the blockbuster.
You did say that.
That's the rock I'm dying on. But it's a suspense, sort of thriller horror movie that for 3/4 of the movie not only doesn't show the shark, but also spends its time, instead of building up scary stuff happening, is about people, whether or not they're going to close the beach. So, like, there's a whole stretch of the movie that's actually not suspenseful, just kind of boring. That's just setting up story.
Yeah, no, Alien...
it's 100% not how they would do it anymore.
Yeah. Alien is definitely has, like, horror in it.
Mm-hmm. I have to see it. I don't have much of a taste for horror, but that's such a classic that I feel like I should go.
And honestly, by today's standards, the horror parts of the film aren't really that scary anymore because the special effects are a bit outdated. But it still has a good amount of tension and disturbia, and a big part of that is just the design of all of the alien stuff that the humans come into contact with was Giger, and if you've ever seen anything that Giger did, it's like super sexual and phallic.
Yeah, I sort of know that, but again, most of his stuff is horror stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of do. I only know of it from a third party thing.
Yeah. So you watched the live action Beauty and the Beast movie?
Fuck yeah, I did. It's been a little while, so I hope I have all the thoughts I want to have about it now. Because I did not write them down, which I usually do when I watch a movie. But I've been listening to the soundtrack because I think the soundtrack is great.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Okay, so can we kick this? I guess spoilers for the new movie, because I bet we're gonna do what we always do, which is just run through it.
I don't actually want to do that just because we did do that. It's the same story. The story is pretty much the same.
Right. We don't have to run through the whole thing, but I did want to mention that at the first part, definitely spoilers for this movie though, because we're gonna talk about cool stuff that happened in that movie. The first part, the prince is at a party, and he answers, and the witch comes in. Okay.
Yeah.
He's already like 21 here.
Yep.
And her curse stops time around the castle in a really cool way, in that it's summer and snowing at the castle. I love that.
Yeah.
So I love that, and I also love that, hey, he's 21, which means he is at an age where he should have made this decision better.
Yeah. The
fact that he did this means that he didn't think of this person as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first thing that I immediately liked about it. I felt like it fixed that big glaring problem with the original movie.
Yeah, they also changed they changed exactly what the curse entails. Is not only does it stop time, but from what I gathered, like picking up on the talking between the servants throughout the film, the servants weren't immediately turned into objects.
Do you think that?
They started slowly turning into them.
Ugh.
Because if you listen to them talk, you hear Lumiere.
Real body horror stuff for a while, huh?
Yeah, because Lumiere mentions that like they get more and more stiff with every passing day, and then like,
oh, I hate this. I hate the thought of walking around the castle where everybody is like the third morphed Animorph at the
yeah.
Like Lumiere is like kind of he's got like wax all over his face and his hands on fire. And he's just kind of moping around because he can't touch anything.
That was my understanding of it.
Oh, that is a dark timeline.
Yeah, and
I don't like that at all.
but that's the thing is when I went in to watch the movie, my immediate thought was when Beauty and the Beast first came out, the big thing that it had is that near the end of the movie, they were like, we're going to convince everybody that the Beast is going to die. And
I thought of that as I watched this scene. Yeah.
And I was like, how are they going to do that again? Because you can't do that again. Everyone knows that twist, right?
They fucking did it again.
And they fucking did it again, though. They
did really bad. I cried at that part.
They did it again, but the thing is they raised the stakes because
much.
Because not only is like the Beast dead, because he does die.
Mm-hmm.
Like he fucking dies. They off him, but then you have to go through like 5 or 10 minutes of like all of the house servants, like
every other character in the movie dying,
turning into
slowly turning into objects. I'll tell you the exact part I cried on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so in this movie, Chip is skating around on a saucer like he is an 80s teen.
It's pretty great.
And he can use it to get anywhere, and that's pretty neat. But he freezes mid-skate and topples off the castle, and I was convinced they were gonna kill him because he, like the Beast, could be brought back after the curse was done.
Yeah.
I assumed they were going to shatter him, and I was like, oh my god, no. And he ends up being caught by the hat rack.
Yeah.
And But man, it was too late. I was already bawling.
Sorry, Chip, you're gonna have to change your name to Shattered.
The other thing is, later when he was a human again, it did occur to me that Chip is a stupid name.
Huh.
Because Mrs. Potts was just calling him Chip, and I was like, okay, that's not a kid's name, though. That can be a cup's name.
It's a nickname.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I follow a Let's Player who goes by Chip.
Yeah, okay. Let me talk about how they fixed, but also subtly changed, the existential horror elements of this movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because in the original one, the horror elements were really that nobody was aging except the Beast.
Yeah.
And this one, nobody ages, but that means that this town, which is not nearly as bad a town anymore, because I think everybody is sort of being minorly mind-controlled. And now Emma Watson's walking around the town thinking, man, this place is so boring. And of course it's boring, because these people, they have been made to forget everybody most important to them and act like everything's normal. So it has to be super boring for them, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, the one person that seems like a normal dude is the priest, and he definitely doesn't have a wife and kid that he doesn't see anymore.
Yeah.
Unlike Mr. Potts, who we see in the beginning of the movie, saying, okay, here's the thing. He says, I keep on interrupting myself for this.
Yeah.
He says, I've forgotten something, but I don't know what I forgot. And I honestly thought that was just like a reference to Harry Potter.
That's what I thought too.
But no, it's that, I mean, maybe it is, but he lost his wife and child and does not know about it. That is awful.
Yeah, like he keeps struggling to remember that he forgot it.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, the thing that this made me think of is, in the original movie, Gaston was way more evil than he is in the remake. In the remake, Gaston is more reactionary. He doesn't, like, come up with evil plans, like start a wedding before telling the girl or kidnapping an old man. Everything he does is, hey, this is a good time to do this thing. This is a good time to ask Belle to marry me. This is a good time to tie an old man up in the woods so he gets devoured by wolves. This is a good time to lie to everybody so that we can go kill Belle's, the guy Belle loves. And it seems like he's still a bad dude, but not nearly in the same way.
He's not.
And I think the reason for that is so that they can make LeFou a likable character.
Yeah, so yeah, I think my big thing is Gaston is very he's changed from being an evil character to just being he's just a horrible person. Like he's not evil anymore. He's just a horrible person. The movie really like tries to push him as being more of just a sorry.
No, this is fine.
But yeah, the movie keeps pushing him into this role of just being this like more intentionally toxically masculine, I think, than cartoon Gaston, because not only does he love like all of this generic man shit, he also loves war and murder.
He does. But here's the thing that made him sort of less
cartoonishly evil.
Here's the thing. I loved the cartoonishly evil Gaston because I liked your take on him.
Yeah.
Where everything he does, again, especially after this election season, felt like something that a real person who felt like the world belonged to them would do. And this one, it sort of feels like that less for a couple of reasons. One of them is that he likes Belle for her personality. Now, the reason he likes her personality is that she's the only girl who's not fawning over him.
Yeah.
But that's still something that he actually genuinely likes about her. I mean, that's still kind of gross because it feels like he just wants a chase.
Yeah, that's the thing is like the reason he likes her is like I think he actually literally says because she's not boring, because she doesn't just throw herself at me.
But on the other hand, she's kind of also the only girl in the village who's not boring. She reads. She invents a washing machine.
I wanted to talk to you about that.
So that she could teach the little girl to read. But there was something I wanted to say about Gaston, which is now that the village is brainwashed, we don't really know why Gaston is the way he is. In the first one, he was definitely that way because of the village, but it's sort of revealed that he's not anymore, especially because in his song, LeFou is paying everybody to sing with him.
Oh my god, so that completely changes the dynamic of Gaston's character.
Oh, absolutely. LeFou is... It not only changes his character, it changes the relationship he has with LeFou and the relationship he has with the town. Because now LeFou is the brains of the operation.
Yeah.
And before he was just the sidekick. LeFou is the one who knows how to grease the wheels and get stuff done.
But at the same time, LeFou is still obviously scared of Gaston.
Right, and also infatuated with him.
Yeah, so he wants that attention, and Gaston is giving it to him. But
I'll
I
tell
think
you what I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna let you finish because I really want to bring up Balto.
Okay, because I wanted to bring out this might line up in a weird way.
All right.
I just wanted to say they killed Gaston.
Yes.
The same way they did in the first one, except that it was kind of nobody's fault. It was. There were a couple things I didn't love about this movie, and one of them was the fact that he died because the castle crumbled underneath him and nothing else. But another thing a sort of like deeper thing I didn't like was that when we were talking about it before, I did not want him to die.
Yeah.
And you said he could die after he got some real punishment or something.
Yeah.
But what I wanted him to know that LeFou had turned on him. And LeFou turns on him, and he never finds out about it. That was my big problem with Gaston's ending in this one. If he was gonna go attack the beast, and LeFou shot him, that would have been great.
Oh my god!
I was sitting there hoping that he was gonna attack the beast or attack Belle, and LeFou was gonna like pour hot water on him because at this point he was teamed up with Mrs. Potts. I would have loved that. That would have been too cartoony because it definitely still would have had to end in him dying.
Yeah.
But even just like throwing a rock at him or something.
Gaston's arc in this movie is definitely a lot less satisfying because of that. Because at least at the end of Beauty and the Beast, the original cartoon, that sounded gross. At the end of the animated film, before Gaston dies, he gets an amazing moment of you lost, and then he shows his real character by cheating a quote unquote win, and that costs him his life. That's good. Like it's not the best way to off a villain, but it has some form of like he did an action, and that action immediately backfired and got him killed. But in this,
instant karma.
But in this, it's more of just like he killed the beast, and then whoopsie daisy, he happened to die by accident, and that's not satisfying because it's not him falling to his death is not a direct result of his actions. Where was I?
Where were you? You're talking about how Gaston's death was not satisfying.
Yeah, he just falls to his death, and the movie tries to make it kind of frame it like if he had been paying more attention to his own well-being than to getting revenge, he could have realized, oh no, I'm gonna fall to my death if I stay here longer. But that's, who cares? That wasn't done that well. The point that I want to bring up though is, in real life, people don't usually get their comeuppance for doing something bad. Usually, people do something bad, and if they get away with it, they get away with it, and if they don't, they don't. And it's kind of left up to chance, depending on what that thing is, Like if I take somebody's eraser when they're not looking, and they fail their test because they couldn't erase an answer or something, nobody's gonna know it was me, and I'm gonna feel bad about it, but the world isn't gonna be like, as a result of taking this eraser, you are going to be punished by God. Like, no, that doesn't happen. But in a story, if you're crafting this villain who has this obsessed, driven goal, what I want to see as a viewer is I want to see this villain's goal backfire on them. And as an intelligent viewer, what I expect is the movie to set up a reasonable way for the villain to do an action based on their morals, and as a direct consequence of that action, cause harm to themselves. That feels good. Like, it feels good when Gaston jumps on the beast, like stabs him with a knife, and the beast throws him to his death.
Right. That's the thing. I felt like the movie was trying to do one of two things. Either one, make it the curse that killed Gaston, or two, make it so nobody killed Gaston in the sort of, ultimate Disney falling death where it's really nobody's fault.
Yeah.
But I hate that. That feels like such a cop-out. I think the best deaths are, when the hero wins, not when just something happened.
And that's the other thing. Like, another thing that the movie could have done is, like, the movie could have had Gaston, like, fall, quote unquote, to his death, and then have him, like, running away from the castle. Like, oh, I did it. I killed the beast. I'm going to be a hero. It's going to be great. And then, like, run into a pack of murderous wolves. Because those...
Actually, you know what?
Because they're back.
Tearing apart Gaston would have been really interesting. Just as a throwback. And also, it was pretty clear in this version of the movie that, nothing had grown in however long. It doesn't say 10 years ever in this movie.
Yeah.
But probably about 10 years if it's the same story. Nothing had grown in that forest. So those wolves, like you were talking about, were pretty starving.
They were also massive.
Yeah, those were huge. Maybe they're also cursed somehow.
Yeah, but my big thing about the wolves is, like, the head wolf had, like, a scar on their face. Mm-hmm. And in a moment of, like, I wish I was watching a different movie, I was like, why does that wolf have a scar on his face? And why is he the leader?
You mean the Balto remake where they make that one into a live-action movie, but he fights wolves?
Wolf Quest.
Oh, good stuff. Well, I don't know. But that's something that you kind of like to see in a movie. They throw on something extra, and you want to know about it, and you never learn about it, but it keeps you interested.
There was a lot of that in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I think my favorite change that the movie does is the movie changes Maurice's character. I liked Maurice's character. I also liked Maurice's original character, though. I did too, but
yeah, this version of him is more... One, he's an artist. He's still an inventor, but less an inventor.
He's more of a clocksmith.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it.
He makes that music box at the beginning.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really make anything else, and the one thing that it seems like he is obsessed with is this portrait he painted of his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you know what? There was one part with Maurice. He was a pretty cool character.
Oh yeah.
In this version, he did a lot of cool stuff. One of the things I liked was that he ran away. I did like it. Yeah. He sees Chip and immediately runs away. I thought that was funny. But what I sort of wished is there's this moment where Gaston is throwing Maurice in the carriage to be taken away to the asylum. And he says, "You wouldn't last a week. Just tell me I can marry your daughter," or something.
Yeah.
And he says something like "never." And in that moment, I wish to God that he had said, "You wouldn't last a week." Because I was like, man, that would have been perfect. Thank you for listening to Direct-to-Video
VHS?
DVD Extras. I have been Tony Robusto.
And I have been your host, Andres. I'm struggling. Do I want to go with the full beast lips? Is that what I want to focus on here?
Those were good lips.
Yeah. Reyes.
I don't know why that got me. That got me hard.
You can find me at royalty_valens on Twitter.
Yes, and you can find me at TheaterBets with an ER.
Remember to check us out on iTunes or Google or our website, wherever you find our podcasts. And if you can, give us that sweet 5-star review. It really helps get us on the leaderboards.
Yeah, and let's do a real sit-down chat about this, because we have a decent amount of listeners, and I am very happy for all of you are here joining us. Somebody leave a goddamn review. We have 4 listeners in China.
What?
Can one of you Chinese people open up iTunes? I literally do not know. But if you can, it would be so nice for you to leave a review, and I would just love our only review to be in Chinese.
That would be hilarious, actually. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be delightful? I would love that. Guys, this is really how more people find out about us. And then, if more people find out about us, we can spend more time talking about stupid movies.
Yeah, because that'll give us a bigger incentive to... Well, it'll give me a bigger incentive anyway to sleep less and work on editing these things more.
Exactly. Listen to him. Listen to how much he wants to work for you.
I need it. I got to enslave myself to capitalism.
It's really the only way we get by.
I mean, that's not true. I work like 2 jobs.
I meant as slaves to capitalism.
Oh, as slaves to yes.
Just in general, as slaves to capitalism, not because of the podcast. As slaves to capitalism, we don't make money on this.
I would love if we, made something off of this.
That'd be awesome.
Smile.
Even if we only got
smiles on faces.
Aw. That'd be great. You know what? I immediately took it to monetary, and you took it to smiles on faces, and I love that.
We could just end on like a good memory. Like let's just sit here and just think for a little bit about how much we want to kiss those CGI lips.
They were good fucking lips. But here's the other thing I wanted to mention: Lee Rosevere.
Yes.
We used his music, Penguins on Parade, for our podcast, and it's really good music, and he does a lot of other really good music. I was just poking around his library, and I found something called Going Out for Coffee or something, and it's like a light but almost noir feeling music, and it's just a good tune. You, as a listener, should go check that out, because you know what? Why the fuck not? Life's too short.
Did we cover all our bases?
I think we covered all the bases. So. Oh, actually, you know what? I also, if you go to direct2.video, which is our website, I put up a couple more YouTube videos. I don't really know how to share stuff on YouTube anymore. I used to use YouTube all the time when I was in high school, and now I don't.
It's changed.
The only one that's gotten like an amount of views, because most of them just sit there.
Yeah.
Is the one that I cut out of the Beauty and the Beast one. Gaston and Toxic Masculinity.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it's mostly you talking about your theory about why Gaston is the way he is.
Yeah.
And I fucking loved it, so I took it out and made that, because it made me completely rethink his role in that movie.
Yeah.
And again, after this past year or so, it's something that I think it's important to think about. It's important to
definitely
to think about how masculinity and the idea that as a man you need to be something specific, and what that means for you and for society is important. Those are important thoughts to have.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 minutes. You can go look at it. You don't even need to look at it. The video is just a direct-to-video thing. It's not even...
They're all great, like, just little teasers if you need to entice somebody with a little sip of what we do.
Yeah. I also did one that I did mostly because I had listened to the Balto 2 one again, just to see why it was so popular, and I can't figure it out. Where I just put together, I think, a few of my own rants about bears. just like the big stuff about how much I hated the bears in these movies, and just played that.
Yeah.
So that's in there.
That was fun.
That's like a minute, so you can go check that out too. We'll try to add more to that because I like finding our gems that we have ended up with out of these conversations. So until next time, I am the ghost of John Smith.
Ooh.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You want a time dot is?
Yeah, let's do 8:20. Let's do 8:30.
Oh, geez, a whole minute, Andy?
A whole minute, yeah. Listen.
The fuck am I gonna do?
Play patty cake. I don't know. Oh, man.
This is gonna be a bad sound, Andy. I was also just basically slapping my hands and not really doing the patty cake rhythm.
I was gonna say.
I sort of lost the plot after a while. Usually there's somebody else. That's the whole point.
Yeah, the whole point of patty cake is that there's someone else that you can judge. Whoever messes up is the loser.
What?
Except you both kind of lose.
Do you play patty cake for keeps?
No, okay, what do you keep if you play patty cake for keeps? Oh, I won. Give me your hands.